So the next fight is between Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia for the co-main event for the flyweight title. But I won't waste our time discussing that fight, considering the fact that Valentina is coming in at minus 1600, huge favorite. The bookies have priced us out, so you could probably use it at one of the parlays. I don't see Valentina losing this fight, even though anything can happen in an MMA fight. I don't see her losing. She has advantages over distance, even in clinch, on the ground. The only place where it can slightly be competitive in a boxing range, but Valentina is still smart enough to not engage in that battle, and she can win the fight standing up, on the ground, on the clinch, anywhere. So let's not waste time and head to the main event, which is between Davieson Figueiredo and Alex Perez for the flyweight title. Now, Figueiredo is coming off of knocking Benavidez twice, and in the last time to win the flyweight title, and his confidence is sky high. His power and accuracy is pretty astonishing at the flyweight division. Figueiredo has quick striking, and he throws them from a fair distance, especially when he starts fighting. He relies on single powerful strikes rather than combinations. And who's to blame him? He's getting all the wins. He has a record of 19-1, I think. He likes to stalk and back up his opponents. And even though he has low punch count, his accuracy and power lead to the highest knockdown rate in the flyweight division. He has well-rounded skills, and his ground game, both from top and bottom. He attacks his opponents when they try to take a Figueiredo down, and he attacks them with a power guillotine choke, and he has been successful with it against Tim Elliott. So Perez needs to be really careful to utilize his wrestling, because Davison's choke is no joke. Figueiredo has shown tendency to slow down, even though he manages his energy really well. He takes breaks, and this is probably one of the areas where Perez can outwork Figueiredo. Now, talking about Perez is a high volume striker, and he looks to overwhelm his opponent with volume. He has strong low calf kicks from orthodox stance, and he looked to utilize them to take some of the power away from Figueiredo. He has to be extremely careful while utilizing those kicks, and he has to set them up because Figueiredo will get that left hand quick to his face if he's not very careful. Perez mixes his takedowns with striking and has superior wrestling, at least on paper. Figueiredo does have tendency to concede takedowns early, so this is probably what Perez might be looking for, not just to take Figueiredo down, but build some lactic acid in his arms and take that snap away from Figueiredo. Perez has really good anaconda Darce choke, and he's used to finish at least 2 or 3 fights in the UFC. He might utilize them against Figueiredo if he gets tired or gets hurt. Perez did show some hesitancy in pushing forward after getting hit by Benavidez in the first round, and from there on, Benavidez took control of the fight and finished Perez. So that kind of gives me an idea that Perez might not take Figueiredo's punches that well. So to conclude, this is probably one of the tougher matchups from Figueiredo in the current bantamweight setting. Perez has probably superior wrestling, and he could utilize that to get takedowns and get Figueiredo's arms tired. Perez might have a slight edge in cardio as well, but Figueiredo knows how to manage his power, and just the threat of his power is sometimes good enough to back up his opponents. Make no mistake though, Figueiredo is super dangerous at all times, even when he is tired, and not just with his knockout power, but with his submission game with guillotines and rear naked chokes. He allows the fight to play out, and he wouldn't go for takedowns himself as often. But if his opponent tries to take him there, he's happy to oblige, especially if they are hurt. If Perez is stuck on the ground, Figueiredo's ground and pound could be a big threat too. I think Figueiredo's power might be a bit too much for Perez over the 5 rounds, and he will be able to finish Perez before the championship rounds. Looking at the odds, I am pretty much in line with what the odd makers are saying, but I see some definite value in Figueiredo by finish, and I've already placed my bet on that one, and this is probably my most confident bet. Figueiredo by finish. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe and share, and comment, then I'll be happy to have the discussion with you. So until next Thursday, see ya, enjoy the fights.